What up guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life today and I'm back with another video. Now today's video we're going to be reacting to Toaster XD, the strongest versions of Son Goku. This was suggested to me by a subscriber of mine by the name of Sunil. He suggested to me the last one where it was SSJ Ryu 1's Goku versus Seiya from Saint Seiya video, which I reacted to, and now he told me to react to this one. I have seen this video pop up on my, For You page, this one, and I think it was Chuck's one about the strongest version of Goku video also, and I've seen them but I just didn't watch them. I have seen a couple of his videos, not too many, like maybe a handful. Usually his ones about like where he's comparing two characters in a fighting set is not even close, and I will be honest, I don't fully agree with his power scaling all the time. I do think some of his power scaling is incorrect. In my opinion, I do think it's a little bit off, but I do respect, the work and dedication he puts into his, videos, and I can kind of see where he's come from, but I don't always agree with him. So I don't know where he's going to go with this one, but let's check it out. I do see like Xeno Goku, which personally I don't really care about him. Hopefully he sticks mostly to the main Goku. It also seems like he had GT Goku, so let's see where he's going to go with this and which one does he think is the strongest. Most likely Xeno Goku from, Dragon Ball Heroes. So yeah, let's get into it.
Scaling Comp Goku. Comp Goku is just every version of Goku, and that's what we're going to be going over in today's video. I'm sure you've heard of all these guys, strong anime characters. So Comp Goku is the combination of every Goku that is from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. Xeno Goku, CC Goku, God Fusion Goku, Jump Force Goku, and I'm just going to be going over all these guys' powers and how strong they truly are, since a lot of people don't actually understand that. And I've gone over Xeno Goku and kind of Super Goku in my Goku versus Gojo video. But I won't be going over Super Goku in today's video because I want to give him his own video. But anyways, let's go. Pretty much anyone in Dragon Ball Heroes would absolutely fodderize anyone in Super. Literally, Krillin or Yamcha would absolutely destroy anyone in Super. Chronoa can actually merge worlds together at will, as well as hold the entire multiverse together. And Chronoa is pretty much fodder to everybody in the entire Dragon Ball Heroes verse. Within the Dragon Ball Heroes verse, we made a character named Mira, who actually transcends time indefinitely, but we'll get back to him later. The best way to scale Xeno Goku is off of Demigra, who's basically a being that was going to destroy the entirety of time and space, as well as destroy the infinite Dragon Ball timelines. And to keep it short, he was going to destroy and recreate an infinite Dragon Ball history and merge it with the real world. This would make Demigra a higher outer. And when I said that in my Xeno Goku video, some people were like, what the fuck, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay, so first I want to mention, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, the reason why I didn't upload yesterday, I actually recorded videos and I was going to upload it, but my internet went out, and basically it was like a payment that didn't go through, but I got it fixed, so the internet is back, and I will be uploading 4 videos today. Just know that those first 2, I actually did them yesterday, and these 2 I've done today. So yeah, I'm going to be dropping out 4. It was just supposed to come out yesterday, so sorry for that. Let's talk about this. So it's an amalgamation of all the Gokus from all timelines. Okay. Sorry for that, I'm a little sick. But he is right. Especially the Xenoverse one, they already showcased to you guys, like, how much significantly stronger they are. Like, I think one of the instances was when they do Goku Spirit Bomb, and when they're doing Goku Spirit Bomb against Frieza. In the original one, he just took the energy from, Namek and some of the planets around, the solar system. Whereas in Xenoverse, I think he took it from the sun, the entire solar system, and a bunch of other stuff too. So his Spirit Bomb was a lot more powerful in that one. So the fact that, Frieza was able to survive that would mean he would be stronger, especially due to the fact that he did get a power amp from I think it was Toa. She used her power to amplify his power, and that was like the events that was happening. And then there was also the other one in Xenoverse 2, where you have Trunks fighting against Merge Zamasu. And in the original timeline, he just took like the Genki from the people on Earth, which there wasn't that many. There was like tens of thousands at most. And in the game, it was actually way more powerful because he was taking the energy not only from the Earth there, but from beings throughout the entire universe, and then all these other timelines. So he was literally taking Genki from his universe, countless other universes in his timeline, and then countless other timelines and branches of timelines to make this massively powerful, spirit bomb. So that just showcases the scaling of power. It's basically just think about what happened in the original one, but amplify that even more. And I do remember Demigra in the first game, they did mention something about like multiple timelines getting crushed and stuff. And then there was a bird, Tokitoku, who can create an egg that creates an entire timeline. It was just so much ridiculous, overpowered stuff. It is games, so it's more like ridiculously illogical, especially the going to the real world with the card games and stuff. So that's why I don't really like talking about Xeno Goku or whatever, talk about him or Dragon Ball Heroes and stuff like that, because I do think it's too over the top and nonsensical that is ridiculous. Now, if this was in the main story, which still wouldn't make sense for them to go to real world, at least I could give a little more of a leeway, because I'm like, well, that's part of the main stuff. But this is too wild, and it doesn't really connect to the real story anyway, so it doesn't really matter in the end of the day. But it is quite interesting still. I can see why people like it. Personally, I just don't care about it. I think it's just too outlandish to the point where it's like, okay, this is just being nonsensical. But yeah, I do agree with his points there. He is bringing up good points, and just from Xenoverse 1 and 2, there is showcase how ridiculously powerful these characters are in the game verse compared to the anime and the manga. So basically, if we have like a hierarchy of power, game version of these characters, the strongest, anime version, the second strongest, and the manga version is the weakest. So yeah, let's get back into it.
But I'll explain. If Demigra is going to destroy all of Dragon Ball, that means he's going to destroy the concept of space and time as well. It's been stated multiple times that the concept exists inside the Dragon Ball universe, as stated by the Supreme Kai of Time. Him going to the real world would give him another conceptual layer, making him high outer, and Xeno Goku was able to defeat him in his base form. I could also go back to Mira, who is actually going to destroy basically everything and everything. He actually has 2 more transformations that Goku was matching in his base form. Xeno Goku is actually limited to only using his base or Super Saiyan, because if he uses anything else, he's basically going to destroy all the time. So yeah, Xeno Goku in his base form would be at bare minimum high outer with the relevant speed. And now that we've got one Goku out of the way, I'm going to be switching over to CC Goku. And here we go. Alright, so CC Goku, or Capsule Corp Goku, is the Goku that went through the entirety of Dragon Ball Super, and not only that, but the movies as well. He was able to recognize Cooler, Bojack, and a few other movie characters within the series. CC Goku's biggest feat by far is being able to beat Xeno Goku in a fight. He used Super Saiyan Blue in that fight, and he was still able to win, and as we know, he was able to access Kaioken and Ultra Instinct. And in Ultra Instinct, he was able to easily outclass characters like Cumber, who was able to fight on par with a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegito and a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta within the same minute. Look up the fight. He absolutely destroys him. We can easily put CC Goku over Xeno Goku, which would make him at the bare minimum high outer in his base form at full strength. It'd be unquantifiable, but he's about high outer to baseline boundless, depending on how you want to look at it. Most of his feats are based off Xeno Goku. So now that we scaled CC Goku and Xeno Goku to be high outer, now we're getting into the broken versions of Goku, and this is Jump Force Goku. There are a few things that people need to understand when I scale this character. Jump Force Goku actually surpasses all of Shonen Jump itself. Everything from One Punch Man, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, whatever, you name it, he surpasses it. And many other animes will be perceived as fiction to Jump Force Goku. Jump Force Goku actually scales to Prometheus, who is a boundless being that was going to merge all of Shonen Jump into one. The reason he is boundless is because he would perceive all of Shonen Jump as fiction. This would include Dragon Ball Heroes, and as we know, I've scaled Xeno Goku and CC Goku at bare minimum to be high outer. And if Prometheus would view them as fiction, that would mean that he transcends them indefinitely, making him boundless.
Yeah, that game was pretty nonsensical. It was in the real world. To be honest, I do hate this concept. This concept is used throughout, fiction. It's been used throughout DC with Superboy Prime from the real universe. But, they're all comic book characters. But he was also from Krypton. Bullshit. So they do that all the time. They did it also in DC, Marvel also. And I do see this a lot. I don't really like it. It does break the immersion of that story. I get it. These are fiction. But, when you do that, it's like... Well, the whole point of it is to be fiction. We all know that. You don't have to explain to us that, hey, look, they're in a fictional realm. It just ruins, the immersion of the world that we're supposed to be getting into. Because, when you watch a show, you're supposed to be like, okay, this is, you know, fiction, but we want to believe, because that's the whole point of writing, is to make you believe in the stories that are being written and told to you. And when they do the real world stuff, it's always just weird to me, and I'm just like, okay, this is a dumb concept. They need to stop doing with this. They're trying to be like very quirky and stuff, like, oh look, we're going outside of the comics, or like, you know, the fictional realm to the real world, and we're using the real world, and it's just always like stupid to me. But in the Jump Force game, that was basically the premise of it. You had New York, you had, you know, all these other places, and they brought them out. And I did think Goku was very powerful. People keep on talking about like Saint Seiya characters and all these other characters, but Goku was literally the most, you know, he was the go-to guy that they relied on. You as the main characters, when you saw like all these other people, they always looked up to Goku as like the top guy. They didn't look up at Saitama or these other characters as the top guys. They saw these other characters as powerful, but Goku was literally like yeah, that dude right there, that motherfucker is strong. Trust me, that guy is a top-notch motherfucker. And towards the end of the game, which I did play, our main character, the only reason he's able to win against him is because of Goku and the Spirit Bomb. Goku basically helps us out and he does it. So Goku did have a major role to play, which makes sense. He is like basically the biggest figure of anime and kind of like the grandfather. Even though there's animes predating him by quite a lot, he's very well known around the world. And he's, you know, he's very prevalent. So I also thought that was cool. I did like that they respect that. But it's crazy to think that he's more powerful than, you know, the Dragon Ball Heroes one. Also, I didn't know that the CC Goku was stronger than Xeno Goku. People were talking about Xeno Goku being the strongest, so it's weird that there was the other version that was stronger than him. But yeah, this is pretty, I guess, interesting. It is cool that they did, you know, give Goku the props and say, hey, this is the tough guy. And Goku's the one that basically helped us in the end to win and gave us the winning. And the funny thing is, when Goku won, he didn't even act like excited at all. He's just like, yeah, you know. He's like, I helped. He acted like he didn't do anything. He's just like, you know, took it, acted so nonchalantly. So it's cool to see that they made him as the most powerful, which I think that's a fair one to do. Even though they didn't have like every fictional character from like different, like, you know, animes and mangas, they only had like selective ones from Jump Force or the Jump, you know, News Weekly, whatever they call it. So yeah, let's get back to it.
In Jump Force, Goku was able to defeat Prometheus, meaning he would be boundless as well. So yes, not only is Comp Goku 0 boundless, Jump Force Goku would be 0 boundless as well. So now we're getting to GT. And no matter how shit the show actually is, he's actually an incredibly powerful version of Goku. He's where all the feats of the other Gokus actually go, like Xeno Goku and CC Goku, as I mentioned before. But honestly, I genuinely think that GT Goku is stronger than Super Goku. And there's a lot of ways you could scale GT, and I'm not going to be going into all of them. And I'll probably do its own video eventually, but I'm going to be giving you the bare minimum explanation of why he's so powerful. So the very first thing is that GT Goku is movie Goku. For example, Cooler came back in the Super 17 arc when he was released from Hell. Or evidence of this is Vegeta suggesting to Goku that they use Fusion, and the only time that they've used Fusion is in the Fusion Reborn movie. And you have to remember, it was Vegeta that suggested this in GT. So now we got that out of the way, we can look at a couple movie feats that put GT Goku at extremely high levels of power. Not only is his speed inaccessible because he was able to move and fight inside instant transmission, he's also low multiversal in base form. In Super Saiyan 3, he was able to shake the infinite hell and infinite afterlife, making him low multiversal. And GT Goku is quadrillions of times stronger than that. And not only this, but in the 17 arc, he was actually going to destroy the entirety of the afterlife in base. Now that we confirm that he's low multiversal to multiversal in base form, at the bare minimum, we can finally get back to the hack that helps Comp. At the end of the GT, there was a 100-year time where Goku infused with the Dragon Balls. And we also know that Dragon Balls are as strong as their creator, meaning Goku would have basically omnipotent wishes because Kami's dragon could basically do anything with a few limitations. And Goku is far more powerful than that. He would be able to create Super Dragon Ball type wishes. Now we have the most controversial version of Goku to go, and that is God Fusion Goku. This is probably the most controversial version of Goku.
Okay, so I'm guessing the God Fusion one was in Japan, and I think the Japanese Universal Studios, they had like God Broly and stuff. He had like Super Saiyan 3 hair, and it was like the original Broly. And then they had Goku and stuff. It was like a 4D experience thing where you can feel and shit. Personally, I wanted to go there and check it out, but like I don't have the money to go all the way to Japan and go to their Universal Studios and stuff. But hopefully at some point in my future I can do that. If I can, I'll probably take my camera with me and vlog it so I can put up on this YouTube channel. I wish in the future that when I get bigger that I can go to like these anime conventions and all this other stuff and do some more cooler stuff for you guys and to give you more of an inside look on stuff. I know you've kind of seen it. I've seen it on countless other anime channels, but I want to do that too and provide to you guys that stuff because I think I do have kind of a unique perspective and view on Dragon Ball than some other Dragon Ball fans. But the GT one, I don't agree with that. I did say before I made a video like not that long ago about why Dragon Ball Super Goku is stronger than GT Goku. He's saying that because of the feats from the movies, and I guess you can use that argument, but let's look at the feats from GT. They didn't show any crazy feats in GT itself, and I said like the biggest was Omega Shenron threatening the universe. People say, well, he was just standing, he was threatening the universe. My argument was that, well, one, the universe was not going to get destroyed all at once. It was going to get destroyed over time. Two, it was a chain reaction that they even stated. They were showcasing that it will corrupt the planet, blowing it up, then corrupt all the other planets in the galaxy, then it will spread out throughout the entire universe, and then the other dimensions, and then destroy them all eventually. We don't know how long it will take, but we know it didn't one-shot them. And two, when Omega Shenron was doing it, the only reason he was doing it is the negative karma energy that was coming out of his body was hitting the positive and taking over it and then destroying it. So it's more like kind of like a science-based one, like positive matter and antimatter coming together. They basically wipe each other out. It isn't actually about high-level power. It's just that these two opposite forces connect, and then they basically scientifically are not allowed to exist. So they remove themselves. That's what was happening in the universe there. And even then, that wouldn't be that impressive because we saw Goku do that in God form and Battle God. So it's very inconsistent in GT, even more than Dragon Ball Super, which is crazy to say. But I guess you can say that, whatever. Also, he's talking about Goku with the amalgamation of the Dragon Balls. We still don't know what that Goku was capable of or what that really meant. Did he actually absorb the Eternal Dragon and become it itself and have the ability to use wish powers? Because we never see him do really anything. Even in the movie after GT, we didn't see. But yeah, I don't know about that. But he's saying this one, I'm guessing he's going to argue that this one might be the strongest. He is going for more like out there versions of them, except for GT1, which is very very normal lane. But these other ones are kind of more like out there. Most people wouldn't know them. So yeah, let's get back into it.
Two. And I'm going to be giving him a high ball version and a low ball version, and whichever one you want to believe is up to you. Both the high ball and low ball will help comp, and no matter whether you high ball him or low ball him, he's going to be more powerful than ever. It doesn't really matter if you high ball him or low ball him, don't worry. Let's start with the high ball. God Fusion Goku is in a movie made exclusively in Japan, and in that movie the Dragon Ball world can interact with the audience itself. For example, Broly powering up would literally shake the movie theater and everybody could feel it. Goku also communicates with you on multiple occasions. Goku seems to be having a hard time with Broly, and how does he solve the problem? He fuses with the audience itself and becoming an entity known as God Fusion Goku. And now the highball version for this would basically just be he's above all fiction because he's fusing with you, and you see fiction as fiction. But you can argue it's not a metafictional transcendence because he's actually a part of us, not just interacting with us. For example, Deadpool would be a metafictional transcendence by killing his authors. This is different from God Fusion Goku because Goku isn't just interacting with us, he is literally us. It's like giving Goku the powers of a real-life human that can see fiction as fiction. Now, the lowball version for this is that the metafictional transcendence would just give him another conceptual layer, making him one layer to boundless. The highball version would basically make him solo all of fiction. So whichever one you want to take, it doesn't really matter because it would give Goku more feats to boundless. And now we're just going to be going over everything, a recap essentially. Xeno Goku is high outer because he was able to beat Demigra, who is an outer being, because he was going to destroy all the concepts of time, because the concepts of time exist inside the Dragon Ball universe, and he was going to destroy all of it. Not only this, he was going to affect the real world as well, giving him another conceptual layer, making him high outer. And Xeno Goku is able to completely match Demigra in his base form. That means Xeno Goku is high outer in base. Capsule Corp Goku scales higher than Xeno Goku, but not conceptually. What it brings to the table is mastered Ultra Instinct on a Grand Priest level, but other than that, he's high outer as well. Next Goku is a Jump Force Goku, who actually sees all of Shonen Jump as fiction, which would include Xeno Goku and CC Goku, shown with all these scans here. To me, Jump Force Goku is one layer to Conceptual over Xeno Goku and CC Goku, making him boundless. Now for the most contentious one by far, and I said I would leave it up to you to decide, and I gave a high ball and a low ball. The low ball is a more accurate scale, meaning it was a metafictional transcendence, which gives him one more conceptual layer, making him one layer into boundless. And the last Goku is GT Goku, who can actually grant omnipotent wishes because the wishes are as strong as their creator. And Goku is far stronger than anything else in the verse, meaning his wishes would operate on a similar scale to Super Shenron in Super. So if you made a Goku and you gave him all the feats of every version of Goku, he would be one layer into boundless at a logical scale, or he would just be real, seeing as though God Fusion Goku was able to fuse with the audience. If you guys have any questions in this,
So that was Toaster XD's the strongest versions of Goku. I don't agree with him on the last part about GT Goku. The other ones I think those were fine, but GT Goku saying that he's this powerful. People keep on assuming because he absorbed the Dragon Balls that this means he has the power to wish. We don't really know. It was very kind of vague. You can go with that direction and that wouldn't be incorrect, but there's no definitive answer that that's the case. So we don't really know. We don't know anything. He's a very hypothetical character, which I don't really like that, going to hypothetical situations. If there's a character I want it to be distinctively told us oh how powerful he is or showcase something at least. He has nothing to showcase to prove anything of his power. Also, he's saying that means his power would, his wishes will be infinite. Who knows? Maybe he can't use those wishes as his, for himself. He probably can only use like how Shenron does, where other people ask for wishes and he can grant it to them. It doesn't mean that he can also use the power of wishing to, do whatever he wants. So there's that. Also, if there's beings that are above the fictional existence, like Jump Force Goku or the one from the movie against the godly Broly one, wouldn't they be above him, since he would still be confined to the fictional realm, whereas these guys are above the fictional realm, so they should be technically above him? See, that's kind of contradictory there. Also, like I said, what's the thing called? He assumes that the wishes will be infinite because of how powerful Goku is, but remember, Goku's power would still not be infinite either. GT Goku didn't show anything infinite for his wishing ability to be infinite. The Super Dragon Balls are infinite because we haven't seen the god that created the Dragon Balls, so we can't really say that it isn't, because we haven't seen the other guys. So this one we have, so we do know that he does have a certain limit, even if it's high. That'll mean the wish potential is high but not infinite, so there's that. Also, I do want to say, and this is not about the video particularly, but I do hate, like I said, the idea when writers do that, where they do the thing where they try to be quirky or be a little try to act like, oh look, we're breaking the fourth wall and trying to be funny or cool by having literally what's the thing called, by them trying to say we're going to the real world and killing, doing that stuff, like taking out the real world people or fighting them, or changing the story through that. Look at how powerful we are. I always think that's a lazy, lame ass trope to showcase how powerful a character is, and really over exaggerated to the point where it's well, by that logic, well, there's still fiction, so technically, I mean, obviously they can't really come out in the real world, but still, that would be technically still fiction, so it's pointless. It's just ridiculous. I don't like that ever. Also, it always ruins the immersion of the story. There's only one time I really liked it. That was in the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon, where in the ending of the show, Spider-Man comes out and sees Stan Lee. He's like, "Hey, why'd you make my life so miserable?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry, man." That is cool, but this, when they try to do a power thing, I always think that's lame. I don't really like that. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I was really jealous of the ride. I really wanted to go do that. Seeing them do their experience, that was so cool. I just wish I could have done that too. But yeah, that's it for this video. I really don't care about these other exaggerated versions of Goku. I don't even like the Dragon Ball Heroes thing. I watched 2 or 3 episodes and I was like, this is just nonsensical BS. I don't really care about it, so I'm not gonna waste my time. I will only stick on the main timeline stuff, because even when it does get ridiculous, at least it has a purpose. This doesn't really matter because it doesn't pertain back to the actual story itself. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.